Hi, my name is Les Brown.
Hi, my name is Susanne Stridh.
As we begin to look in today's marketplace and look at it globally, the world has changed tremendously. And today I'm talking with Susanne because Susanne has made a commitment with her life to not only be involved in self-development from a promotional event and bringing me to her country of Sweden to speak and empower people, but she's also a student of this work. And as an entrepreneur, as a mother, she's decided this is something that I want to do with my life. And so, Susanne, I want you to think about the choice that you have made and making a commitment to create a global business. What is it that you're sharing with people that can help them to move their lives to another level in a time where people are fearful and full of a great deal of anxiety?
What I want to share with people is that you really have to live your dreams and never give up. Because where I come from a family, a very dysfunctional family. And what that made to me is when I grew up, I made some decisions in my life. I chose the husband that was the worst guy in the state where I lived. And it made that all of a sudden I was in a relationship that was toxic and sick. I lived for 11 years with abuse. I was abused physically and mentally. But at that point of time in my life, I was thinking, this was it. But since I was a little child, I always felt and I always had this big dream that I wanted to do something else. But you know, when you are alone there with 2 kids and you don't know anything else and you have no one to ask, it's a little bit difficult, but I never gave up. So one day I was sitting in the kitchen, I was breastfeeding my baby, and all of a sudden I saw this newspaper and there was an announcement. Are you related or do you know someone who's drinking too much? And all of a sudden the phone was there and I rang and I had this meeting. I came to the meeting and the woman was looking at me. I was 25 years old at that time. And she said, you really need help. Do I? I thought my life was meant to be like this. And I went to this course. It was like 15 weeks. And it was such a turning point in my life. I felt like, wow, that's why I made the decision. I come from this family, and I don't want to point on my mother or my ex-husband, but I've done some decisions in my life because of the experiences that I have. So when I realized that now it's my turn to live my life, and I can really live my dream. So what I did, I decided to step up my performance. And that's what I want to share with you, because all of you that are listening now, you can step up your performance as well. And what I want to share and what I want to explain with that is that what I did, for example, to step up my performance to get a better life. I divorced. I took my kids. At that time, I had 2 kids. I sold my house and I called my best friend in Spain. I live in Sweden, so it's far away from Sweden. And I said, I've sold everything. Open the doors because I'm on my way.
And so you stepped up and stepped out of the situation and the life that you were living at that time.
Yes, because you know what I learned? I learned that either you get bitter or better. And I chose to be better. And I realized that in order to do this, I had to make a total commitment to what? To myself, to my life. And I knew that there was no way back to that life, because I never wanted to live that life again. So what did I do? I started to develop myself. And at that time as well, I got involved with the network marketing company. And it was the first time I got in contact with motivational speakers and developing books. And there was a guy, he gave me a CD and a book. And the book was called Attitude. Attitude? I was thinking, my God, attitude. Don't I have a good attitude? I started to read the book and I listening to the tapes. And on the tape, there was a man. He got so right into my heart. You know what his name was?
What?
Les Brown. So I started to listen to this tape. And you know, what I want to share with people as well is total commitment. And it's not that you can't go to a course one day. You know, I heard so many people say, I've done that, I read that book, I've been through that. But they still have the same results in their life. And I'm sure that they still have the same results because you can't do it once. You have to do it again. You have to practice and practice and practice. And I also learned that life is hard. Life is hard. And how many times life will put you in a setback. Always try to land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking when I came to Spain that it was hard. But I learned you have to develop yourself. Every night I was listening to tapes, reading books, at least half an hour. For me, it was a better choice to listen when I went to bed. But you make your own decision, just as long as you do something to yourself every day.
To begin to restructure your thinking.
Yes.
So you're saying you moved from Sweden to Spain, but in Spain, they spoke Spanish. Did you speak Spanish?
No, I didn't. But I had made a decision that I had to make a change in my life. So I stepped up my performance. I made a total commitment. So when I came to Spain, you know, I was thinking this will be my new life. I was looking for a job, but the only word in Spanish I could say was hola, which is hello. And then I realized, I'm here, no place to go back to in Sweden. I'm here, I can't speak a word Spanish, but I won't give up because this is the beginning of our new life. So I started to study Spanish over there.
So you're saying that if a person is in a situation and they're not familiar with it, even if they don't speak the language, there's no reason to pack up and go back home and become discouraged. What you said was you made the commitment to step up and that you learn. How long did it take you to learn to speak the language?
I studied for 6 months, 5 days a week, 4 hours a day. And it was hard. Mm-hmm. It was hard. But I learned that if you do the hard, you can live the easy life. Mm-hmm. But if you choose the easy life, if you choose the easy way, it will be a hard life.
And so you packed up, you left Sweden, you went to Spain in pursuit of a new life for yourself. People that are listening now who are going through some difficult times, millions of people have lost their jobs. Millions of people are going through bankruptcy and foreclosures. What is it, if you had to crystallize your thoughts, that you think that people need to do in order to create a new life for themselves, in order to move their lives from where they are now to something that they would find enjoyable and fulfilling?
First of all, you have to make the decision. And when you made the decision, stay focused because you're worth it. And never give up. What I did was sometimes, if you believe in God or whatever you believe in, it's very important that when the hard times come, and they're going to come, it's very important that you feel secure inside. And I want to say to the people, whatever it is that you want to change in your life, if you want to be a better wife or a better husband, or if you want to take the next step at your work, do it. And you have to start to believe in yourself. It's so very important to believe in yourself and never give up.
Now, you set aside time every day to read and to listen to motivational tapes. So you set aside time to begin to program yourself for success. Is that something that you're suggesting for people?
Yes, of course. You need to do that, because if you can, either you can sit in your house and have that dream and say, but Susanne said here that if I start to listening to motivational tapes and read books, I can do whatever I want. Yes, but from there you have to take action as well.
Yes.
You can't just sit there and dream, because you have to do it. I read something the other day that you are where you are because you made an appointment a long time ago. Mm-hmm. And I can promise you that's the way it is, because I'm here today because I made an appointment 10 years ago. And it took me 10 years, but it's worth it.
So you were willing to do whatever was required in order to move your life from where you were at that time?
Yes, absolutely.
When you look at some of the things that you've experienced and gone through, what's one of the most transformative things that when you went through that you grew by leaps and bounds, when you went through that it changed your life, but it also gave you a deep appreciation of who you were as a person?
First of all, I didn't know. When I went, it was a breakthrough just to divorce. Just to go home. I remember the night when I came home for this course for codependent person, because the course was about, because I come from the family when my mother is an alcoholic. And when I came home, I made the decision. I can't explain the feeling, but I just made the decision because it was like, what? That's why he's in my sofa. He won't be there too long. Mm-hmm. So when I made the decision, and I feel relieved. I feel like I like a bird. Now it's time to fly, and I flew, and that was the best experience that I had. That I felt relief.
You felt relief when you made the decision,
yes,
to get a divorce.
Yeah.
There are situations. I remember we were talking about you were going to a seminar that you had organized people to come to the seminar with you on a bus. Tell us about that experience and what you did, because to me it's an illustration of taking charge.
Okay, it was like 3 years ago. I was involved in another network marketing company as well. And that's the kind of person that I am. I involve people, and we were about to have an event, and it was like 3 hours away from where we live in Gothenburg. And I rented a bus, and I made myself like this, the clown, or how do you say? The person that are going to now is 3 hours in the bus, and my people won't get bored. So what do? I bought t-shirts and I made competitions for 3 hours in the bus, and everybody was laughing because I wanted to have the energy when we arrived to the event. 30 minutes before we arrived to the event, I got a phone call, and it was the lady, because it was a couple that arranged this event. And the wife called me, she cried, she said, my husband left, so it won't be an event. I was thinking, okay, it will be an event. I said, wait for me there.
You said it will be an event. She
course.
said it won't be an event.
No, I said, it will be an event. You stay there and you wait for me. And I had my dress and everything in the back of the bus, because the plan was that I was supposed to be the last speaker in this event. But all of a sudden, in 1 second, everything changed. So I was in charge of this event. So I told my best friend that was on my side at the bus, I said, something had happened, but you don't worry. The only thing you have to worry about is the people on the bus. Mm-hmm. So when we arrived, I just ran into this place, and she was standing there and crying, and there was a younger boy who was supposed to take care of the music. He was like shaking, and then she asked me, are you nervous? If I'm nervous? We don't have time to be nervous here. So we just settled it up, and 30 minutes, almost an hour afterwards, we opened the doors. I was there, good looking. And I just said, welcome to everybody. And the people that came with me in the bus, my best friend, she said, what are you doing there? I said, you just shut up. Because now we have to make the best event ever. And we did. And that was a breakthrough for me.
Because you took over the event.
Yeah,
you were
did.
supposed to be one of the speakers.
Yes.
And the people hosting the event, the husband left. The wife was there, distraught, crying and saying, it's canceled, but you said no. So you took charge.
Yes, I did. And it was the best event ever. And, the thing is that, again, that you have to think about that, how you look at yourself. Mm-hmm. Because for me, there was no option at this time. And then we had the coffee break, and I just went like normal to have my coffee, and there was like a queue. You say, no?
Yes, yeah. A line of people.
A line of people in the back of me. And one older man, he was crying, and he said, I never heard that before. And no one had ever touched my heart so much as you did, Susanne. And I was thinking, my God, he's crying. And it felt so good for myself. So why I want to share this with you is that you have to be grateful to yourself, and you have to see that there are so many possibilities in your life, and everything is possible.
When you look at believing in yourself and believing that everything is possible, who would you say, because you said you came out of a dysfunctional situation, your mother was an alcoholic, the greatest influence in your life? What comes up for me right now is your grandmother. Tell me about that.
My grandmother. Oh, she was the best woman ever. She was like my mother. She passed away this year, but it's normal. That's how life is. But
yes,
I had so
that.
many.
Yeah. Tell me one of the greatest fond memories you have of her.
It was when I invited her once to come to Spain. That first of all, she always believed in me. She always believed in me. She said, "Susanne, you can do whatever you want." And thank God I had her. So I wanted to...
But I want to pause right there. So part of becoming successful and being unstoppable, it's very important for you to have somebody in your life who believes in you.
Yes, of course. It's important for everybody.
Yeah. And most people don't have that. But you had that in your grandmother. And,
yes.
And so what did she say to you?
She said to me that I can do whatever I want and that she believes in me.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to show her all my greatness and everything. I lived in Spain for 5 years and I only had her on the phone. So I was working in the real estate and I did a good job. So I had money, so I invited her to come to Spain. And it was a nice week, you know. We went in my car to go to the vegetable feeds, and it was like sightseeing, you know, all the windows down, I can still see her. And then I said, "Grandma, look over there, over the fields, you have some vegetables over there." And she says, "Stop the car." So I said, she says, "Stop the car." So I stopped the car, and my grandmother, 85 years old at that time, she ran out of the car, just grabbed all the vegetables. She sat in the car, stopped, closed the door, and she said, "Go, go, go," she said.
Wow. Yeah.
And then she was sitting eating all the vegetables, and we were having a good laugh. With her, you can always laugh.
So she had a sense of boldness and adventure about her.
Yes.
That is great. You know, there's no saying, and I love it and I embrace this. My goal is to die young at an old age. And she never got old in spite of her years.
No.
When you look at what you're doing now and your goal and objective to empower people, to inspire people to pursue their greatness, what's one of the keys to that, of unlocking a new life for yourself that you have discovered through your own experience?
What I want to give to other people.
Yes.
Yeah, I started this business. I want to arrange the events. Why? It's because that I know that with my background and everything I've lived, if I can do it, everybody can do it. But how can I get the message to other people? So I tried to get into contact with the best, which is you, Les. Mm-hmm. And I took the decision that I want to have an event in Gothenburg. So that's what we are going to do. And why I'm doing it is because I want to show the people, I want to share everything with the people, everything that I know, that it is possible to change your life. But you have to take it step by step.
You talked about step up, that you got to step up your performance. I always ask people when I speak, how many of you have goals you want to achieve? And most people raise their hands. Then I will ask them the question, how many of you know if you had your life to live over again, you could have done more than what you've done thus far? And almost everybody will raise their hands then. So stepping up in terms of your performance is major. But if you had to crystallize your thoughts about 3 more things that people should do in order to make their dreams become reality from your own experience, what would those things be?
You have to have the hunger to achieve what you want. You got to be hungry. And what I mean by that is that when I first got in contact with you and we decided to make this event, this was so huge, so big. I was thinking that, wow, if I only can change one person's life by having this event, it's done. We arranged everything with the event. I rented the local. We made all the contracts and everything. And I hired a company to sell all the tickets, so I will get serious. You know, I didn't want to sit home and make the tickets over my table. Mm-hmm. Yes. So from this day, you can buy all the tickets to this event, you know. And I was sitting in front of the computer And I was thinking, they should call me in 1 hour and tell me that all the tickets are sold.
Yes.
No one called. It went 1 week, 2 weeks, no one called. What I want to share with you today about telling you this, that you have to be hungry to get to where you want, is because that a normal person or an ordinary person, let's say, would normally, in that kind of situation, when you've invested a lot of money or invested something that you really don't have, but you know in your mind that you will have it, would maybe have a nervous breakdown or say, I give up, throwing the towel and say, that's it. But not me, because I've made, as I said before, an appointment 10 years ago that I will do this. So I can never give up on my children, because I'm doing this for me, for my kids, and for everybody, to show them that you can change your life. So what I did is that I talked to the person that were involved, and we made a different day. That's it, because I'm hungry to achieve what my dream is.
So you move the date back. That will give you more time in order to get the butts in the seat
Yes.
for the event.
Yes.
Okay, but that's major, because now you're able to bring me there to Sweden, to this motivational event that's going to change thousands of people's lives. But the other thing is, you've gone from not just being a promoter, but being a speaker and a life coach yourself.
Yes.
All right. Well, Susan, it's just exciting just talking with you, and I'm looking forward to being with you as we share the stage together.
Me too. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.